Alright lads, so the Jujutsu Kaisen Movie Zero collaboration officially starts tomorrow, and with that we're getting 3 new SRs, Inumaki, Maki, and also Panda. Alongside that we're getting 2 free SSR recollections, and all of these are event exclusive. Once this collaboration is gone, so are these. This can be best seen as the warp to the collaboration because the main party starts on the 24th when Yuta will be available. But before he is available, let's talk about what we are getting tomorrow and talk about the new SRs. See if they offer any value. So first up, let's have a look at the SSR recollections. Now, I believe in this one, we're going to be getting for just logging into the game. Currently, not really sure how to get duplicates of this. I would like to think the duplicates aren't going to be available just from summoning on a banner, because this SSR recollection isn't really the greatest, at least by that much. So what you'll see here is that when you get it for the first time, it will offer a 5% damage dealt increase for 1 turn, and it is on a 7-turn cooldown. At limit break 3, it will increase that by 10%, and a 10% damage dealt for all your allies honestly isn't too bad. You can equip this onto a support character to give yourself more damage during maybe a score battle, but this particular one at limit break 1 is going to offer a 10% additional break for 2 times after the 4th turn. In a vacuum, it's honestly not too bad, but the problem with this one is that we do have an SR alternative recollection that, funny enough, is actually kind of better. You look here at base level 1, it offers a 10% damage dealt for 2 turns. Granted, it has a higher turn cooldown, but it is giving you 10% more damage at 2 turns at only base level. Once you do limit break it 3 times, it will give you a 15% damage dealt increase. So this SR recollection, funny enough, is better. However, you could always use both. I mean, more often than not, teams are using someone like Nanami and also Yaga, and if you want to get that 25% damage dealt increase, you could do that by using both at the same time. So even though this one does exist, it doesn't mean that the SSR is basically completely invalid. But funny enough, this SR recollection is actually better, and the auto skill technically is also better too, as once you are under half stamina, you do get 20% more curse energy. Not the worst recollection that we have gotten. I'd say it's semi-decent, and all you have to do, I believe, is just log into the game during the collaboration. Our second recollection that we are going to get, this one is going to be earned through the event. It's going to be a story event, so very similar to the Yuji homestick event that we had at the start of the game. Now, this one is very similar, but this one we know for certain we are going to be able to easily max limit break just by playing the game. So in this case, it's going to increase all allies taijutsu damage, so physical damage, by 10% for 2 turns. At limit break 3, that gets increased to 50% for also 2 turns. So very similar to the SR one that we just spoke about, but this one is specifically to physical characters. Once more, any physical buff, especially one to an entire team, is good. 15% I think is good enough. It's lasting 2 turns. Can definitely see the usage of this one if you are using a physical focused team, and there's going to be some good physical characters coming out in the future. So while it's true you should obviously be farming this event, this is definitely a recollection that I think you wouldn't want to miss up. You definitely want to get it, and it also offers decent stats to 40% increase on your physical. And it also has that extra utility effect, being able to heal your character by 10% only 1 time once you do get under half stamina. For a free recollection, I kind of like it. Now, alongside that, like I mentioned, we are going to get 3 new characters in this game. Surprisingly, SR characters. I think this is the only time we get new SRs. I believe every other character forthcoming is going to be SSRs, which is understandable. Very rarely do you get new low rarity characters in a game, but I guess it's nice to see new SRs, in this case Maki. Now, the special part about Maki is that she will be obtainable for free during the event, and I believe she's the only free character. Panda and Inumaki you are going to have to summon for, which obviously I don't think is worth summoning on. They are SR characters after all, but they are collectibles, so maybe if you are going through that collector's mindset, you might want to summon on them, summon on the banner to try and get them at least once. I would say, though, at least wait to see what Yuta's banner does contain, because there's a chance these SRs could be featured there at a lower rate. No guarantee, but I'm personally waiting to see Yuta's banner pull on Yuta, and then any extra cubes that I might have, I might just do a few singles every now and then to try and just get the SRs once for the collector's aspect, but you're definitely not going to need them. So if we have a look at their level 10 skills, firstly starting off with Maki. Just like the other Maki, this character doesn't consume any cursed energy. She can use any skill that she wants to, but that likewise might come at the downside of her damage not being too high. Her first skill is going to be a single target physical attack, while also at the same time increasing the enemy's physical damage received by 12% for 3 turns, and this can stack. Nothing super crazy, decent skill 1. Skill number 2 is going to increase her own physical damage by 32%. 3 turns, you can potentially stack this, while also increasing her break damage by 70%. Once more, you can stack this. Increasing her damage output is never a bad thing. Her third skill is going to be an AoE skill, dealing 120% physical damage to all enemies, while also decreasing the damage they deal, assuming they do deal physical attacks, and you can stack this as it does last 3 turns. It looks like an okay kit, nothing super crazy. I think the problem with her is that she's an SR character, so her damage output isn't going to be super high, but hey, if you're a Maki fan, you can maybe make it work. You honestly could. Her ultimate's also AoE too, not the highest multipliers by any mean. She has no auto skills as well. She's very much going to be playing like an SR, but I believe the idea is that you can max limit break her, you can get it for free, but at the end of the day, she is just going to be a collector's item. SR Inamaki, likewise with Panda and Maki, are all blue characters. He's going to have very similar skills to the current rare Inamaki and also SSR, but not nearly as good. So his first skill is going to be a single target curse attack, decreases the damage they can deal by 7.5%. This will last 3 turns, but likewise with all of his attacks, anytime he does something, poor Inamaki, he will be losing 3% of his HP, or just a percentage of his HP. Now, his second skill will have a utility effect. It will attract the enemy to attack him, while also granting himself a counter status. So when he is attacked, he will deal damage back to that enemy. In this case, 150% damage equal to 66% of his curse technique stat, while also once more sacrificing 3% of his HP. His third skill is an AoE, 269%, while his ultimate is going to be a single target, but also does decrease the enemy's ultimate count gauge by 2%. And this is probably like the best part about him. The only useful ability that this character does have is that you can decrease the ultimate gauge count by 2. I believe, to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, he's the only character in the game that can do that right now. I know Holo Purple Gojo will do that in the future, but depending on the content, maybe this can be useful as an ultimate, as it will stop them from using the ultimate, giving you that extra bit of survivability or longevity in combat. I definitely think this will be more so super situational, and you kind of have to make it work. And once obviously Holo Purple Gojo comes out, he's just going to be a significantly better character. Not like they're really competing anyway, but you know, if you're going to want to lower the enemy's ult gauge, you just probably want to use Gojo. I like this effect that he does have though. Maybe you can make it work, but I think for most people they aren't really going to. With that in mind though, at the start of every turn, if your HP is below 35%, you will have a 60% chance to recover your HP by 15%. I like this auto skill, but I don't like the fact that it is tied behind a 60% chance. Next up, we have an SR Panda, once more another blue character. So his first skill is going to be a single target attack, physical damage. His second skill is once more going to be another physical attack, single target, dealing a bit more damage when compared to his first skill, while also at the same time making sure that enemy will be taking 26% more physical damage for 3 turns. So you're kind of seeing all 3 characters here, especially Panda and Maki, where like they debuff the enemy to let their team do more physical damage. So I guess there's some synergy between the 3. I kind of, if possible, want to get all 3 SRs and make it a team and see what it can and can't do. Probably not much, but there is that somewhat synergy between the units. Skill 3 is going to be another physical attack, just dealing more damage. And then Panda's ultimate is going to be an AoE attack to all enemies. And then with that, he doesn't have any auto skills. So kind of surprising to have a Panda that isn't a tank, more so try and be a damage dealer, a physical focused one. But like I said, these characters are SRs, so their stats are going to be lower. It's cool to have new low rarity characters, but the problem with them is that they're their own banner. You obviously should not be summoning for SRs. And like I mentioned at the start of the video, all 3 of these characters are mostly just collector items. Hopefully through the event, we can maybe get summon tickets to do summons on their particular banner. Because even though they're not like the greatest characters, I still want to, again, personally collect them. And that goes for both of my accounts. My free-to-play one, that definitely does not and should not be summoning on this banner, and also my pay-to-play account. But either way, that's basically the breakdown for the new characters and recollections that are coming tomorrow as part of our big update with the movie Zero collaboration. It's a cool start. Luckily for us, we don't have to wait too long for Yuta to come out. On the Japanese version, it was like a week wait. For us, Yuta is going to be here in less than 72 hours, and that's the character that I know a lot of us have been saving for and waiting for. Either way, though, it should be a fun time tomorrow over on Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade. Definitely looking forward to getting that Maki and also SR recollections. More free stuff is always welcomed. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.